Good morning. Thank you for joining us for a Middle School Choice 5th to 6th transition live stream. We are here at the Renaissance Library, and if you have any comments or questions that you would like us to answer, please feel free to type that into the comment section. We do have a live moderator here to assist with that. My name is Kelly Hodge. I come from the Office of Equity, Access, and College and Career Readiness. And my team, we help families work through the process going from 5th to 6th grade. And we hope that this presentation will give you a nice overview and you'll have a better understanding of the process by the end. Thank you again for joining us. So within the Long Beach Unified School District, we have a combination of middle schools and K-8s to choose from for a total of 24, and they are listed here for you. Some general differences between our middle schools and our K-8s are listed here. The middle schools in general have a larger population of students. They have a wider range of special day class options for our families. And residential priority is given to those who live within the boundaries. Versus our K-8 schools, which are kindergarten through 8th grade, overall they tend to be smaller in student population. They have limited special day class options due to their smaller size. And residential and or continuing K through 8 students are given priority. What they do have in common is that they all offer accelerated classes for our students. There are no GPA requirements to be placed at our middle school or K-8s. And thirdly, the teacher to student ratio is the same. It's often a misunderstanding that if you're at a K-8, because it's smaller, that the class size would be smaller, but they are the same at the middle school and K-8s. The middle school choice process is set up in 3 phases: the preparation phase, the exploration phase, and the application phase. And here I have our overall timeline for you. Backpack letters were sent home after we came back from our winter break the week of the 6th with all of our 5th grade students so that families could get a preview of the overall process and procedure for middle school choice, a flyer for the family information nights at each of our middle school and K-8s, and also including a flyer of the education celebration. What can you do right now to prepare for middle school choice? We highly recommend that you make sure that you've activated your Parent View account and make sure your information is correct, that your address is correct, and that is because your address determines your middle school of residence, and also that if you have more than one student, that your Parent View has them both linked within your account. If any changes need to be made to your Parent View account, please do that immediately at your elementary school site. They will be able to assist you. Also, if you have not had an opportunity to do so, please read through the family information letter, also known as the backpack letter that was sent home with your 5th grader. And we're hoping that you had a chance to attend our education celebration. That was one of our large exploration opportunities, as well as we currently, I will pause because we are live at a high school. We also hope that you've had an opportunity to visit some of the family information nights at each of our middle school and K-8s. If you have not, we still have 2 that are available this week. Stevens Middle School is tomorrow on the 12th and Jefferson on the 13th. Lastly, we would invite you to visit the Middle School Choice 5th to 6th Transition website, where we have all of the information that I will be sharing with you here today, and also the family backpack letter information if you did not receive it or if you've lost it. Okay. So again, we did set this up in 3 stages. In the exploration phase, we had the education celebration, January 25th. We have ongoing family information nights where you could go and visit each campus. And then the application phase. We actually go live with the middle school choice application this morning. It was activated at 9 a.m. this morning, but there is no rush. It is not first come, first serve. Everyone has the same amount of time till February 24th. All on-time applications are considered equally. Okay. Again, every family must go online through their Parent View account to apply for middle school choice, even if you want to just attend your middle school of residence and it's right across the street and you can see it. You still need to go online and apply or go through the application process. If you do not go online and fill out the application, then it's possible that a seat will be filled and it wouldn't be available to you after the fact. You are required to select your school of residence when you go online to do the application, and that again holds your spot as a default at your middle school of residence. If that is the school that you want to attend, then you will be done with the application and you can submit it. However, we do give families up to 3 other options for middle school in K-8. If you do choose to participate in the school of choice, meaning that beyond your middle school of residence, you would like to express an interest in attending another school, you need to understand that there's limited openings because we do place school of residence students first, and it's based on a randomized process. The priorities and considerations that are made once the applications are received, no space is ever guaranteed. However, if you put your school of residence as your first choice, you do get priority. These are how we place our students. Per the education code, if a student puts their school of residence as their first choice, they get priority. They get to fill the seats first. Then we look at continuing K-8 students. If there's a student who is in the 5th grade attending a K-8 school, and they don't live in the resident of that K-8, they do get priority if they're choosing to continue for the 6th grade and they put it as their first choice. Then we look at families who will have students attending a middle school at K-8 in the same year. We would try to keep those families together if they put that school as their first choice. Then lastly, dual immersion students that are continuing on into the 6th grade, they get priority into Keller, which is our middle school dual immersion program. Other considerations for you and your family when you're going through the middle school choice process include that there is no priority placement given to students coming from a middle school's feeder elementary school. For example, there is an elementary school, Prisk, and a middle school, Stanford, and they are right next to each other, literally. I don't even think a street divides them. It is possible that your student has been attending Prisk on elementary school of choice. However, you may live in another residential boundary for a middle school. Your student will not have priority to get into Stanford. You would have to apply to get into Stanford, but you also have to select your middle school of residence. Another example of this is we have Longfellow Elementary School right across the street from Hughes Middle School. And a lot of families who've had their children at Longfellow think that they will automatically be enrolled into Hughes because it's literally across the street, and they have gone to school with families who live in that area. But again, it reverts back to your street address and your middle school of residence. No student is guaranteed their school of residence. However, you again get that priority when you put it as your first choice. And lastly, you also want to consider transportation. There is no transportation offered for middle school of choice. So you might want to consider as a family, if you are going to apply for a middle school that might be across town, either east to west or west to east, north to south or south to north, you want to consider getting your student to school on time for the next 3 years and how that would work for your family. Okay. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of data from last year to help inform your decision when you're filling out the middle school choice application, and how that works with the priorities that I just laid out for you, with School of Residence getting priority, continuing K-8, and then we work down that list as per the education code. Some of our schools are highly impacted. So I've listed some from last year. For example, Nelson Academy. 413 families put that as their first choice last year. However, there were only 253 sixth grade seats available. 249 of those 413 were residents or had another child that was going to be continuing into Nelson, so they got priority, which left 4 seats available through the random lottery. Another example, Hughes Middle School. 660 families put that as their first choice on their application. However, there were only 465 sixth grade seats available last year. 364 of those seats went to school, families that live within the residential boundary of Hughes and or had children that were continuing at Hughes in the same school year, leaving 101 spots available for lottery. And then you can also see for Rogers, Stanford, and Marshall, we have a lot more people putting that as their first choice than their actual seats available. I'd also like to highlight Robinson K-8. Last year, 150 families put that as their first choice. There were only 105 seats available. 85 were residents or families that had children that would continue on with Robinson, leaving only 20 spots for random lottery. Also, we want to keep in mind there is no GPA requirement for middle school or K-8. Another misunderstanding we have with families, they call and they say, but my student has done so well, they have a 4.0. Why can't they get into a particular school? Because that is not how the ed code is written. It's not based on GPA, it's based on School of Residence students getting in first, continuing K-8, and any spaces that are left over, they are up for random seating. I'm going to go back here. I wanted to illustrate one more thing with the choice application with this data here. You can see how it's possible if a family puts Hughes first, then Rogers second, that anyone who puts Rogers as their second choice is not going to be placed, or they weren't placed last year, because Rogers filled with first choices. Hughes filled with first choices. Stanford filled with first choices. Marshall filled with first choices. So any of those schools that have been placed as a second choice on the middle school choice application were not filled. So then the randomizer would then go to third choices on someone's application. And hopefully maybe your third choice did not fill with first or second choices, and you could be placed at your third. If your first, second, and third are filled, that's when you're placed at your middle school of residence if you had selected that as your fourth. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of walk you through our website so that you could see some resources that are available to you if you want to go back and revisit them. I have the path on how to get to our website was there, and this is what it looks like. At the top, we have the complete middle school choice timeline. April 24th is when families will be notified of their placement. Right now, or today, we have started the application process, February 11th, 9 a.m., all the way to 11:59 p.m., February 24th. It is not first come, first serve. But you will be notified via Parent View on April 24th of your future sixth graders placement. And then if you were to scroll down in English, then Spanish and Khmer, we have the choice process and overview videos for you. If you're having any issues with accessing your Parent View, there are resources for you. And then school choice information, The family backpack letter that was sent home, all the documents are here along with the electives that you could review. Then what I would like to do lastly, after we answer any questions that have come through with our moderator, is to actually show you the middle school choice process video in English. This will later be transcribed and presented in Spanish. So if you would sit back and relax, we'd like to show you this video and give you an overview.
In the Long Beach Unified School District, every student has the opportunity to apply to the school of his or her choice. We call this the School of Choice process and want to share what we believe is a fair and equitable chance for all students to attend schools inside or outside of their neighborhood. If your child is currently in 5th grade, you will complete and submit an online 6th grade choice application. In order to access the online application, you must activate your ParentView account with an activation key. If you do not have your activation key, please contact your child's school. Once you are on ParentView, you will go to the School of Choice link that will take you to the online application. If you would like your child to be assigned to your school of residence, select your school of residence as your first choice and do not mark any other school on the application. If you choose to participate in the School of Choice process for schools outside of your residential area, mark your top 3 choices as indicated on the application. You will also be prompted to select up to 3 choices for elective classes at each school choice, which will include your school of residence if it is not included among your 3 choices. You will also have a chance to tell us if you have any other children currently in the 6th or 7th grades in Long Beach. Please realize that due to space availability, a random lottery system will be utilized to select students for the limited openings. In addition, no transportation will be provided. If your school choices are not available, your child will be placed at his or her school of residence. These online applications will be available February 11th and close February 24th. Placements will be made during the months of March and April for about 5,000 students in our school district. By April 24th, families will be notified of the middle school where their student has been placed. We would like to remind you that each household has an assigned middle or K-8 school based upon your residential address. To find or confirm your residential middle school, please visit our school finder on our district's webpage at www.lbschools.net. Students who have been identified as GATE or Excel are placed centrally through the GATE office. GATE or Excel students submit their application the same way that all other students do and are notified of their placement at the same time that all other students are notified. An ideal opportunity to explore potential schools takes place at the Education Celebration on Saturday, January 25th. There are so many dynamic programs among our middle and K-8 schools that you may consider when making the choice for your student. Families can research the schools and their unique programs at this event in a single day. All of our middle, K-8, and elementary schools will be represented with detailed information about the schools you might consider. You can also discuss the schools with representatives of each campus. On April 24th, all current 5th grade students will be notified of their assigned middle school. The Long Beach Unified School District is committed to ensuring that every student, every day, receives fair and equitable treatment in this exciting process. Please contact your child's counselor for more information on the 6th grade School of Choice process.
Can you let me know when I'm back? So I hope that you found that to be informative, and again, it is on our website, so you can always go back and revisit it. At this time, I'm going to see if we had any questions for our moderator that would be helpful to the general population.
We do have a question from Anna B. Anna B was asking, can elective classes be changed after the application?
Oh, that's a good question, Anna B. Actually, Once those electives have been collected by the schools, over the summer they're going to be building their site's master schedule around those selections. So my first response to that would be no. However, that would be something that you would want to bring up possibly with the counselor at a later time. Because again, they are using these to build a master calendar so that the programs are ready to go and children are ready to start learning on that first day of school in the 6th grade. Any other questions? Okay, so we don't have any other questions, so I do want to end this by saying that we wish your 6th grader a wonderful first year in middle school. And also, because we did just go live today with our application, we have about 5,000 or so families, and if everyone is on there at the same time, you might experience some buffering where it just goes around and you may think that it's not working. So we do highly encourage you, if you have any type of technical issue, to pause and come back and revisit it later this afternoon. By then, a lot of the glitches may have been worked out if it has to do with the system being overloaded, and I hope that you'll understand. Again, I really appreciate your time, and we're very thankful to Parent University hosting us here, along with Renaissance High School allowing us to use their library. Have a great day.